believe last video we have stopped here, alright, a1, z1. Now we sub in z1 as 0.5 since it's the roots, and z2 as 0.4 over here. And now I'm going to solve the a1 and a2 in this video, and then I'll just show you a plot, alright, such that it's, because the plotting system is kind of interesting, so that's why I want to just raise the awareness of it. So I want to solve for the simultaneous equation. You know, I'll do that. I know that my initial condition is that when k is equals to 0, right, u0 is equals to 0. When k is equals to 1, right, then it is equals to 1. This is the two Fibonacci system, if you still remember, the first two numbers. And if I were to plug it into that particular system, this is for when u is equals to 0, this is when u equals to 1. Alright, this is that thing. I mean, without this one first lah. Alright, so because I want to do the simultaneous equation, so I multiply 0.5 to both sides. Now I minus this one. This one becomes 0. 0.5 minus 0.4 is 0.1a2 is equals to minus 1. Therefore a2 is equals to where am I? It's equals to minus 10. Since a2 is equals to minus 10, therefore a1 should be also 10. I mean, therefore a1 is equals to 10. Alright? Because if it's times 10, then 0.5 times 10 is 5, right? So 5 plus minus 5, because a2 is a minus 10. Minus 10 times 0.5 is minus 5. It is equals to 0. Alright? So I'll just simply sub back in a1 and a2, and with a minus 10. So far so good. Okay, now the interesting part comes in during the plotting. Okay, if you still remember, we started out with this equation, correct? And where does this equation familiar to? It's actually familiar to the general equation uk is equals to this one, and we say that this is our current input plus the old input will give us a new input, right? And therefore we also started out saying that this is the same trend, just that this is multiplied by 0.9, this is multiplied by minus 0.2, right? If you were to just take a second and look at it, they're exactly the same thing. Okay, they're exactly the same thing, and therefore what can you deduce? So therefore I will plot the graph in terms of the system. Alright, so how do I plot in terms of the digital graph, the UK, which is, as you can see, is over here. Right, how do we actually plot it? So when my k is equals to 0, I'll just start it off when my k is equals to 0. Alright, this term will become 1, this term will become 1. So 10 minus 10 is equals to 0. So in such of this case, this values will be subbed into, this result will be subbed into here as uk minus 2. Alright, what do I mean by this? How do I mean by this actually? Alright, our thumb step is started from the old input, which is the initial one for goodness sake. Alright, so our initial one, the very first one is so-called assumed to be thumb 0. When k is equals to 0, it is equals to 0. Alright, this is the very old input. Alright, so we can somewhat say that instead of k, alright, we can say that this is k minus 2. Then this is k minus 1. This is k. So this is when we start to calculate and plot the graph. Alright, so therefore the k for the k minus 2 case, we actually say that it is equals to 0. We have proved to you just right in your eyes. Alright, now when we sub in k is equals to 1, now I sub in k is equals to 1, what would I have? It's let me see, I sub in this is equals to 1, what I have is 5 minus 4, which is equals to 1, correct? So this is for the case of when k is equals to 1, or in other words when this is k minus 1, our current input right now. So now I input 1, alright, my first value. I'll just place it over here. Alright, so this stuff over here is this, okay, equals to my u2, or in other words uk in this case. This is the one that I'm gonna find. So as you can see, the constant is 0.9 times 1, therefore it's equals to 0.9. And therefore my U2 is 0.9, because this 0 times 0.2 is simply 0. As you can see in the Excel file, this is 0, this is 1, alright? While the output is simply 0.9. Okay? So if I want to plot for U3, alright, I want to find my new input. Instead of U2, this is U3. Okay? And instead of UK minus 1 in this case, this is my current input. I got input 0.9. Alright? Therefore, when I input the, if I input the 0.9 over here, I'll have 0.9. If I input U1 as this one, I'll have this. Alright, so I'm just simply plugging in values right now. I plug in over here, I plug in over here. This is my old input, this is my my current input. So this current input is the input that I've calculated just now. Alright, UK. So now I'll just simply plug it into my current input now. And if I were to calculate, alright, I'll have 0.81 over here. Alright, this whole thing will become 0.81 minus 0.2 times 1 is 0.2. What I have is 0.61. Okay, and if you want to check, you can simply sub in 3 to these values of k. Okay, so therefore when you do that, when you sub it in, you should get the same result, 0.61. Therefore U3 is equals to 0.61. Alright, and so on and so forth. So this applying of the concept using the different time step and then add them up together. This is the old input, the current input equals to the new input. You need to know this concept. And in fact, doing the Excel plot is straightforward. As you know, it's 0.9, this is minus 0.2. Alright, you can straight away plug it inside your Excel already. So for example, if you were to do that, alright, this is the equation. This is for when it is 0, right? When k is equals to 0 is 0, when k is equals to 1 it is 1. Alright, and then after that you calculate, it's simply 0.9 times C2 minus 0. I think you can see already. So therefore 0.9 and 0.2 is simply the values that we have seen just now. Alright, so I'm just simply plugging in into this equation. This first equation will do. Alright, or the next one, and then after that you can drag. Alright, as you can see, it's simply same equation. It's just like this. So therefore you can just double click and everything will goes down, or you can just drag everything. Same as this one, you can, or another, but however the second row you can just sub in because this is your new input will become your current input now. Your previous new input will become your now old input. You get what I mean? So you just sub this one, as you can see, while this one you sub in as this one. So you can just use Excel and then straight away plot it out, and you can magically see that in fact it's going down to stable. Alright, going to 0. And therefore I hope that this is a pretty good concept to share. And the next video we'll do another few examples. See you there.